Varanya from LG Institute of Engineering and Technology in Department of Electronics and Communication. Today we will discuss the subject that is control system design, and in this subject we will discuss our unit number 3, that is Introduction to Optimal Control. And here our today's topic is what? It's an example that is using Riccati equation. If you remember then what we have solved in our last session. Here we will see the somewhat variation and then same example, that is of Riccati equation. And yes, one last method of this chapter, that is LQR. This is totally theoretical concept, LQR. So let's start our today's session. See, we know that the Riccati equation that is used to find out the optimal control problem, right? To solve the optimal control problem. And this equation that is applicable for the continuous time as well as discrete time. But what we will do? We will just use the continuous time. Discrete time that you will learn in another subject that is known as the ACT. Advanced Control Theory. Now, when you want to solve any example that is using Riccati equation, then first of all you have to remember the equation that is for the continuous time. Then you have to remember the equation to find out the controller gain, and then find out finally that is what is a controller load. So, based on these three equations, we can easily find out the optimal solution for any control system. So let's start our today's session. For the continuous time algebraic Riccati equation, that is what? A of transpose into P plus PA minus PB are inverse A of transpose P plus Q, that equal to 0. Now, see, this is example. Here we have to obtain the control load, that is what K, if you remember. In the last session we already find out the value of K. Now, which minimize the performance index, that is J, that equal to 0 to infinite x1 square plus u square dt. Now you know very well what is the performance index that we discussed when we learn the theory that is related to optimal solution. Now here, see, as I told you, here maybe the direct value of A and B will not given to you. That is, here the equation are given to you. That is x1 dot and x2 dot. That is 0, 1, 0, 0, x1, x2, 0, 1 and u. Now the value of Q and R, that is always given to you. But the value of A and B, that may be directly given to you, or it may be given to you by the form of equation. Now here how we can solve this? Then first of all, we will write the Riccati equation. That equation is this. Now, what we will do? From this equation, see, we can easily say this is the value of A, because x dot that equal to Ax plus Bu. And this is the equation of B. See here, A and B. So the value of A that equal to 0, 1, 0, 0 and B equal to 0. Now based on this, value of A of transpose that will become 0, 1, 0, 0. Just interchange the rows and columns to get the transpose matrix. And B of transpose that equal to 0, 1. Right, and one by one you have to substitute all this value. Here the value of R that equal to 2. So when I want to find out the value of R inverse, that is 1 by 2 and that equal to what? That is 0.5. So here substitute all this value in our Riccati continuous time Riccati equation, then we will get this. Now here what we want to do? We have to multiply 1 by 1. First we will multiply this 2. So what we get? That is 0, 0. P11 and P12. How we will get this? That is rows and columns. Now if I multiply this 2, then P11 with the 0, that is 0. And P12 that is also with the 0. So first element is 0. Now for the second element what I will do? First row, second column. So P11 and 0. So that element is become what? It's a P11. Now that is for the second row and first column. So 0 plus 0. So here what we get, that is 0. Now again second row and second column. So what we get, that is P12 plus 0. Now what we will do? We will multiply this two. How we can find out the size of any matrix when we multiply two different matrices? Then here, the size of this matrix is what? Is a 2 cross 2. And the size of this matrix, here we have a 2 row and 1 column. So it's a 2 cross 1. So when we multiply this 2 cross 2 with the 2 cross 1, then our resultant matrix, that will be 2 cross 1. So when we multiply this, that is first row, that is with the first column. So P11 with the 0, that is 0, and P12 with the 1. So we will get P12. Here see, already I mentioned P12. Now second row, first column. So P12 with the 0 and P22 with the 1. So what we get? It's a P22. Now here 0.5 as it is. This 0.5, that is as it is. Now we will multiply this two matrices. So first row, first column. So 0 with the P11, 1 with the P12. So what we get? P12. Then first row, second column. So 0 with the P12, 1 with the P22. So what we get? That is P22. And the Q matrix as it is, that is 2, 0, 0, 0, that equal to 0. Now, here what we do? We will add these two matrices. So 0 with the 0, what we get? 0. 0 with the P11, that is P11. P11, then P11, P12 plus P12. So what we get? 2P12. Then here, minus 0.5, that is constant. And we will multiply this two. So what we get? That is P12 square. Here P12 into P22, then P12 into P22, P22 square. Now here always you are getting the same value because we know very well the value of P12 and P22 is same, plus your Q matrix, that is as it is 2, 0, 0, 0, that equal to 0. Now simply what we want to do? We want to do the summation. So 0, then multiply the 0.5 with the P12. So what we get? That is minus P12 square plus 2. Then last second element, that is P11 minus 0.5 P12 P22. Then P11 minus 0.5 P12 into P22. Then 2P12 minus 0.5 P22 square, that equal to 0. Now we know very well, we will represent this 0 as a form of matrix because we want to compare each and every element. So first if I compare 0.5 P12 square plus 2, that equal to 0. So what I get? 0.5 P12 square, that equal to minus 2. So the P12 square will become minus 2 divided by minus 0.5, that equal to 4. So the value of P12, that equal to what? It's a 2. Now similarly what I compare, that is last second row, second column. That is P12, 2P12 minus 0.5 P22 square, that equal to 0. Now we can easily substitute the value of P12. So what we get? 4, that equal to minus 0.5 P22 square. So the value of P22 square, that equal to 8, and P22, that equal to what? It's a 2 root 2. Now here compare that element, that is where the value of P12 and P22 is same. So what we get? P11 minus 0.5 P12 P22, that equal to 0. Now already you have the value of P12, that equal to 2. And you have the value of P22, that is 2 root 2. If we substitute this, then what we get? P11, that equal to 0.5 into 2, 2 root 2. So that is nothing but the 2 root 2. So our P matrix, that is P11, P12, P12 and P22. So what? 2 root 2, 2, 2 and 2 root 2. Now we want to find out the control gain, right? And as I told you, we have to remember this equation, that is K that equal to R inverse B of transpose into P. Now substitute this value. You know very well, R that equal to 2. So R inverse that equal to 0.5. B of transpose that is 0. Then you have to substitute all this value. First 0.5 as it is, then you multiply this 2 matrix. So first row, first column, so you will get 2. Then first row, second column, then you will get 2 root 2. And if you can see like this, here you have a 1, that is for second column. So you will, when you are multiplying this 2, then you will get only second column, that is 2 and 2. Now if you multiply this, then we will get 1 and root 2. Right? This is known as a controller gain. Now optimal control law is what? It's a k into x of t. So value of k is 1 root 2 and x1 of t and x2 of t. Because see, why I am writing only x1 and x2? Because here you are getting only 2 values. In other way you can consider your matrix A is what? As a 2 cross 2. That means this is for the second order system. Or you have a two state variables, that is x1 of t and x dot of t, right? Because when in the question you have a x1 dot t, x2 dot t. So this is only two variables, x1 and x2. That's why here we are taking two variables, that is x1 of t and x2 of t. So I hope this example is clear. Now our last method, that is linear quadratic regulator, LQR. So the theory of optimal control is concerned with the operating a dynamic system at a minimum cost, right? Because ultimate aim is what? We want to find out the minimum cost of any control system. That's why we are finding the multipliers. Then the case where the system dynamics are described by the set of linear differential equation and the cost that is described by the quadratic function is called LQR problem. Now the LQR algorithm, that is reduce the amount of the work done by the control system engineered to optimize the controller, because you want your controller to be the best. So when you want to optimize this, then you have to use this theory. Then for the continuous time linear system, the x dot that equal to what? Is ax plus du. Now the cost function is defined as a j that equal to x of transpose qx plus u of transpose r into u. The performance of the control system may be specified in the terms of what? Cycling time, quick overshoot, steady state error. That is nothing but your time domain specification. Right? You know how to find out the system performance using the time domain. And as we are talking, this is for the continuous linear system. You know your x is what? It's the number of state variables. You know the q and r, that is what? That we will get from the Riccati equation. And u is what? That is your input. So here, to measure the criteria that can be, we have to find out some particular factor, that is j, that what is the cycling time, you have to multiply this with, that is something very clear. Now for the peak overshoot, you have to multiply this to get the maximum output or to get the optimal control system. So steady state error, that is nothing but the K3. So if you will get the K1, K2 and K3, then you will get your performance index, that is what J. Then where Ki is what? Is a weighting factor. So we know that the J is what? 0 to infinite x of transpose Qx, that is plus u of transpose R u into d of t. X of transpose is what? That is x1, x2, x3, that is state variables. Q is just like, that is the matrix again, like this Q and factors. U of transpose is this, that is input, R is this. Right? So here you do not have any example based on this, but this theory you have to know. Now by adjusting the value of Q and R, we can find the weights which is important to us, right, to get the optimal solution. So I just hope this session is clear to you. Thank you.